Okay, welcome back to the physics class, dear students. As in the previous class, we were discussing about some discussion of the numericals, right? We were solving the numerical part. So in that numerical part, we were discussing regarding especially the convex lenses. That is what the combination of lenses. That is what we combine the lenses. While doing this way, even we just consider a water dot, and even we can place a lens inside a water medium, even we can place a lens inside a liquid medium, even we can consider n lenses, that is what 2 or more lenses which are placed together with a water drop. These are all the things that what we discussed in the previous class. So in the previous class there was one question in which the two lenses are combined together so that with a water drop between them. This was the thing that we have just gone through in the previous class, but I just left it over there itself. I just written the diagram and I just left it over. So whereas this is the lens L1 and this is the lens L2. Both are convex lens. Whereas in between these two convex lens, we are going to place a water drop. Whereas this water drop, which is placed between the two convex lens, is going to form a concave lens. Whereas the concave lens is a water lens. So that this concave water lens is going to form another one, water lens. We should not call it as exactly a concave, but we should say that it is acting as a water lens. Then dear students, you can observe it carefully, that you can observe it very carefully. Here, now this water lens becomes a lens L3. Now the lens L1 is with the focal length f1 and the lens L2 with focal length f2 and the lens L3 with the focal length f3. So this is what the diagram we written for the previous question. Hope you all written the question and also the diagram. Now let us move on for solving out this numerical. So first we should calculate the focal length of the first length, that is f1, and we should calculate the focal length f2. Afterwards we can move for the calculation of the total focal length, that is what the equivalent focal length. Andre ಮೂರು focal length ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು focal length ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು, ಈ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ L2 ಕೂಡ focal length ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು, ವಾಟರ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಕೂಡ focal length ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು. ಮೂರದ್ದು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಈ ಮೂರನ್ನು ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ಬರೆಯೋಣ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್? ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ದೇ ಗಿವನ್ ದಟ್ ದ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ capital R is equal to 0.24 meter. R is equal to 0.24 meter. ಜೊತೆಗೆ even they given that Ng is equal to 3 by 2 and Nw is equal to 4 by 3. Ng is equal to 3 by 2 and Nw is equal to 4 by 3. We should calculate the focal length of the entire combination. So F combination is equal to question mark. So to calculate this, I am just dividing it. So to calculate F combination, I want to calculate F1 first. After calculating F1, I should move for calculation of F2, and finally I should move for the calculation of the focal length F3. So the three focal lengths I want to calculate here. So now let us move on the calculation of the focal length of first lens L1. So to find F1, right, I am just calculating the F1. So see dear students, while we are calculating F1, we are just considering the lens L1. I am not moving with the lens L2. Whereas L1 is a convex lens. Dear students, for convex lens, always we have the focal length which is equal to positive. That one thing you should keep in your mind. And as well as you should know that for a convex lens, one surface is considered to be with a radius of curvature positive, and another surface is considered to be with a radius of curvature negative. And that ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. Here we have one surface and here we have another one surface. ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ಗೂ ಕೂಡ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ಇದೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಈ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ಗೆ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ R1 ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ಗೆ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ R2 ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್. Then ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಇಂದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಇಂದು ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಮುಂಚೆನ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ರೇಡಾರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ. ಸೊ ಈ ಕಡೆ ನೀವು ರೇ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, the radius of curvature for this surface becomes positive, that is R1 is positive, and what happens to R2? R2 becomes negative. So let me begin. So now let us use the formula. So you know that the formula for focal length, that is 1 by f is equal to n minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. This is the formula. So I am using this formula for solving out, for calculating, for getting the value of F1 and also F2 and even for F3. Dear students, here L1 is also convex lens, L2 is also convex lens. Both are similar one. So I am just calculating F1 and F2. It means if I just calculate F1 calculate ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ F2 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ತರ F2 calculate ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ F1 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Both are same because both are convex lenses and both are having the radius of curvature 0.24 and the refractive index is equal to 3 by 2. Now let us use this formula. 1 by F1 is equal to, here n minus 1, so it is Ng minus 1, Ng minus 1 because glass, that is what the lens is made up of a glass, so that the lens with a refractive index Ng I want to write. So Ng minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2, right? Yes, now 1 by F1 is equal to, what is Ng? Ng is 3 by 2, substitute that, 3 by 2 minus 1, and as I said already that one surface is with a radius of curvature positive, mattondu surface radius of curvature negative irutte. Here in this given diagram, R1 becomes positive and R2 becomes negative. So my dear students, R1 is positive. What is radius of curvature? 0.24. ಅದೇ ತರನೇ R2 minus ಆದರೆ minus 0.24. Minus into minus becomes plus. Direct ಆಗಿ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. So my dear students, 1 by F1. So 3 minus 2 divided by 2. LCM ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. It means 3 minus 2 is 1. Direct ಆಗಿ 1 divided by 2 ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So if you want to write, you can increase the step in your notebook and you can write it. Otherwise simply you can place it as 1 by 2. Now observe it carefully. 1 by 0.24 plus 1 by 0.24. It means 1 plus 1 is 2 divided by 0.24. Here 2 cancel with each other. Remaining is 1 by F1 is equal to 1 divided by 0.24. So it is the value of F1, then it is equal to 0.24. So F1 is equal to 0.24. See my dear students, here they given in terms of meter. So here also we should write it in terms of meter. So anyway, we got F1. Already I said you that in the given diagram, the radius of curvature and the refractive index for the given lens L1 and L2 both are same. It means if I just calculate F1, it is similarly to that of F2. Similarly, F2 is equal to 0.24 meter. So my dear students, we calculated the value of F1 and F2. So it means the part, we completed the part of calculation of F1 and F2. Still we should calculate F3. Afterwards we should move for calculation of combination. So now I am just moving with the calculation of F3. To find F3, I am going for the calculation of F3 now. Yes. Now let us calculate F3. So how to calculate F3? The same formula. 1 by F is equal to n minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. But here please be careful my dear students. Here water lens is the lens with focal length F3. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ F ಗೆ F3 ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. Refractive index ಏನು ಬರೀಬೇಕು? This lens is made up of water, so that n is replaced by nw. Here also you please be careful that one surface is with the radius of curvature. One surface is with the radius of curvature, which is said to be positive, and another surface is with the radius of curvature, that is negative. So, however, here in this case, see what I consider. This surface ge R1 surface ge positive anta barbe, R2 ge negative anta barbe. Ee surface negative aitu andre, ee surface, this is surface is the R1 for the water lens. See, ಅದೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇದು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ R1 ನ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಈ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ಗೆ R2 ನ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಂತ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ -0.24. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮೈನಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಈ ವಾಟರ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಈ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮೈನಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ, this is R1 which is minus and this is R2 which is plus. So R1 is minus and R2 is plus. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರೀಬಹುದು in that way. So I am just substituting 1 by F3 is equal to, what is NW? It is given that 4 by 3. So 4 by 3 minus 1 into, right here 1 by R1 ನ ಮೈನಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ R is 0.24 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಮೈನಸ್ ಅಗೆ 0.24, right? Now minus into minus plus, so that minus 2 divided by 0.24 into, ಇಲ್ಲಿ LCM ತಗೋಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, LCM ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 3 is the LCM and numerator ಅಲ್ಲಿ 4 minus 3 ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 4 minus 3 is 1. Now 1 by F3 is equal to minus 2 divided by 3 into 0.24. Observe carefully, 2 ones are 2, 0.12, 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. Yes, right? Then 0.12 into 3 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, so it becomes 11 minus 1 divided by ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 3 twos are 6, 3 ones are 3, it becomes 0.36. So 1 by F3 is equal to minus 1 by 0.36. Then what is the value of F3? It is equal to minus 0.36 meter. So dear students, we finally calculated the value of F3 also. Now still we want to calculate F combination. So hope you are getting. So I will just rub the diagram. So you observe ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, F1 ಮತ್ತು F2 ಕಾನ್ವೆಕ್ಸ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಬಂತು, ವಾಟರ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಕೇವ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದರ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ R1 is positive and R2 is negative ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ದಟ್ ಶೋಸ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಅವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. Now let us move on the calculation of the F combination, that is what the focal length of the combination of the three lenses. Now what I am calculating to find F combination. To find F combination. So what is the formula to find the F combination? See my dear students, 1 by F combination or F total ಅಂತ ಬರೋದು, right? No problem. ನಾನು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ 1 by F ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀನಿ, equal to 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2 plus 1 by F3. So what is F1? 0.24. What is F2? 0.24. What is F3? F3 it is minus 0.36. Substitute ಮಾಡಿ, right? So you calculate matter values and substitute ಮಾಡಿ. Then see here 1 by 0.24 plus 1 by 0.24, it is equal to 2 by 0.24, right? See, 2 divided by 0.24 minus 1 divided by 0.36. Now 2 ones are 2, 0.12 are. See here you can write that 1 by 0.12 minus ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ minus 1 divided by 0.36 right. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೊ ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ 0.12 ಅದೇ ಥರನೇ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ 0.36 ನ ನಾವು how I am writing here 2 into 0.12 right. See now we left with 0.12. See now here 0.12 is common, so 1 by 0.12 into 1 minus off. 1 minus off. Dear students, 1 minus off is off. So that which is equal to 1 by f is equal to 1 minus off is off. So 1 by 2. Dear students, 2 into 0.12 is 0.24. 1 by 0.24. Right, 2 into 0.12 is 0.24. So reciprocal is f is equal to 0.24 meter. See my dear students, the focal length of the combination of the two lenses. The two lenses. So we did some mistakes. Sorry dear students. Yes, we can observe that 2 into 0.12 allado, that is 3 into 0.12, right? Sorry. So here we got 0.12 as common term. Remaining is 1 minus 1 by 3. 1 minus 1 by 3. Right. Here you can observe it. So 1 is 1 by 0.12. Right. What is the LCM? 3 is the LCM. So 3 minus 1 is 2. We got it in this way. Now we got it in this way. So now again we can divide it and we can calculate the value. Dear students, 2 ones are 2 0.6 are. Now we are left with 1 by 0.6 into 1 by 3, right? 3 6 are 18. So 1 by f is equal to 0.18. Then reciprocal corona f is equal to 0.18 meter. 0.18 meter. Yes, my dear friends, finally we got the answer. That is what? 3 lens na combine madadre 2 lens is combined with 2 lenses are combined with yadu water center. So ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ನಮಗೆ 3 ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಆ 3 ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ದೆನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವಿ ಗಾಟ್ ದ ಟೋಟಲ್ focal length is found to be equal to 0.18 meter. So idrinda we concluded that here the focal length of the combination is positive. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 3 ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದು ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಎಫ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತು? ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಬಂತು. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲೆನ್ಸು ಅಂದರೆ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲೆನ್ಸು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಕಾನ್ವೆಕ್ಸ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ವೆಕ್ಸ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ L1 with water lens L3 and the convex lens L2 ಮೂರನ್ನು ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಲೆನ್ಸು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಕಾನ್ವೆಕ್ಸ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? 0.18 ಮೀಟರ್. ಸಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ? ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಡಿಡ್, ವಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಲೆನ್ಸಸ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ದ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಇಸ್ 0.24 ಫಾರ್ ಕಾನ್ವೆಕ್ಸ್ and another for convex 0.24 and for concave it is -0.36. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ 3 ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಏನು? ಕಡಿಮೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ 0.18. we reduced the focal length by combining the 2 or more lenses. You know already in the combination of lenses, suppose if we combine 2 or more lenses, focal length decreases but power increases. The same thing we did here. So that by combining the 3 lenses we got the less focal length. ನೋಡಬಹುದು ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ 0.24 0.36 ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಮಗೆ 0.18 ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಥಿಯರಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ನಮಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಈಗ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. Now let us move with the next numerical. Yes, take on the next question. A convex lens has focal length of 0.1 meter in air. Full stop. Calculate its power. Full stop. If the lens is completely immersed in water, comma, what will be the change in the power of the lens? Question mark. Given Ng is equal to 3 by 2 and Nw is equal to 4 by 3. Full stop. See, here the question was like this. Hope you just pause the video to return the question. So now we have a convex lens. Yes, we have a convex lens whose focal length is 0.1 meter. Now let us write the focal length. Focal length of the convex lens is 0.1 meter. Next. Yes. Calculate its power. What we should calculate? We should calculate the power of this convex lens. Power is equal to question mark. Next. If the lens is completely immersed in water. If the lens is completely immersed in water. See what we are doing? We are just going to place a lens. We are just going to place a lens inside the water. We are just going to place a lens inside the water. Yes, I just immersed a lens inside the water. See, the focal length of this is F, right? Whereas this is the convex lens. Lens is immersed inside the water. Whereas the water is having a refractive index Nw and the glass is having a refractive index Ng. Now, see now, both will the change in the power of the lens. So what we should calculate? We should calculate the change in the power of a lens. So that is what? Change in power of lens. Change in power of a lens is equal to question mark. See dear students. So rather than writing these much terms, I will just write change in power of a lens as P dash. How to write this P dash? See here. At first, the power of a lens is P. Now, I am just going to take the lens and I am just going to place the lens inside the water. First lens in the power P irutte. Iga lens na tagondogi water olagade idtini. Aga adradu power estagutte PW agutte. Then iveredu difference kandidre ಎಷ್ಟು change agide. Power increase agidya, decrease agidya, everything we can calculate. Okay dear students, this is what the given value. Jotege refractive index value koಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. See, if I want to calculate the change in power of a lens, I should know P and also PW. So put PW is equal to question mark. Right. See, to know the power of lens inside the water, we should know the focal length of a lens inside the water. See, this is easy because focal length ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. power ನ ತುಂಬಾ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ within one single step. So that change in power of a lens ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ P minus PW ಅಂದ್ರೆ P ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Then we should know PW. ನಮಗೆ PW ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು? power of a lens in water ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ focal length of a lens in water ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು first. So how many times we should calculate? P, FW, PW and ನಂತರ P dash. See, first calculate P, then FW, then PW, then P dash. Next, what are the given values? Let us see. Ng is equal to 3 by 2 and Nw is equal to 4 by 3. Ng is equal to 3 by 2 and Nw is equal to 4 by 3. Yes, these are all the given values. Let us find P. Right. Now, to find P, I am just finding out P. Yes, I am just going to find out P. See, How to calculate P? So first ನೀವು given values ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಂತ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Then P, what is the formula for P? That can be written as P is equal to 1 by F. So P is equal to 1 by 0.1. So P is equal to 10 diopter. Right? We got the value of P now. Then let us move for the calculation of FW. So we just calculated P. Now FW calculate madana. So now I am just going to calculate FW. To find FW. Yes. Yes, let us calculate FW. We have the formula 1 by F is equal to N minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. Right, my dear students? Then there comes a question for you. What is the radius of curvature, ma'am? So again you will get a doubt here. Doubt barata. So what is the radius of curvature? The radius of curvature kuttilla. Jotege we cannot calculate this directly. Now direct calculate ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Because ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋದು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್. ಆ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ 0.1 ಮೀಟರ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಆವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆದ್ರಿಂದ we should have two equations. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು when we place a lens inside a water, take it as equation number 1. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು when this is for the lens inside the water, this is for a normal lens which is in air. So which is equal to n minus 1. So n minus 1 ಅಲ್ಲ ng ಅಂತ ಬರಬೇಕು. Because ಇದೇನು focal length of a glass in air. This is a focal length of lens in water. So this is ಇದನ್ನ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ f ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಂತೀವಿ. No issues. So now the refractive index of a glass into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. Take it as equation number 2. So I am dividing equation 1 and 2. Divide equation 1. Simply write equation 1. Divide equation 1 and 2. Now what we will get? See 1 by FW. Otherwise 1 by. Now easy aಗುತ್ತೆ. Shifting easy ಆಗುತ್ತೆ first. 1 by F divided by 1 by FW. See 1 by F by 1 by FW. 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2, 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ನಮಗೆ ಉಳಿಯೋದೇನು ng minus 1 divided by AW minus 1. Yes. ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ denominator ಇದೆ FW. Denominator of denominator becomes numerator. So FW divided by F is equal to ng minus 1 divided by nw minus 1. Right? ತುಂಬಾ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ. ಸೊ now ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ng ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, nw ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, f ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. Then easily we can calculate the value of fw. Hope you got an idea to calculate the given values, but you should be very careful, my dear students. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಈ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ lens air medium ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ. So ng with respect to air. But here in this case ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we just placed a lens inside the water. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ air medium ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ no problem ng ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗ್ತದೆ we just placed lens in water. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ we have two refractive index nwg. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ nwg ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. So we have the two refractive index. Right? So we have two refractive index. Let us solve here. Fw is equal to F into ng minus 1 divided by ng divided by nw minus 1. n2 by n1. Simply I write it as n2 by n1. So now Fw is equal to, right, Fw is equal to, what is F? 0.1. What is Ng? Ng is 3 by 2 minus 1. See, 3 by 2 minus 1 can be written as 1 by 2. So because 2 is the LCM, 3 minus 2 is 1. So it becomes 1 divided by 2 whole divided by Ng by Nw. Ng is 3 by 2. This one is 4 by 3. 3 by 2 divided by 4 by 3 minus 1. See my dear students, please be careful. Here in this case 9 by 8 you will get. Correct? You will get 9 by 8. 9 by 8. So why? Because in yatra ittu 3 by 2 divided by 4 by 3 ittu, right? So 3 ಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. It means 3 3s are 9, 2 4s are 8. 9 by 8 ಇದೆ. 8 is the LCM. 9 minus 8 is 1. So remaining is 1 by 8. Right. ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Steps increase ಆಗೋದು ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ. So FW is equal to, see my dear students, now here 8 becomes to the numerator. 0.1 can be written as 1 by 10 into 8 by 2, right? 2 ones are 2 fours are. 4 by 10 can be written as 0.4. Yes, the focal length of a lens inside the water is 0.4 meter. So we calculated FW. Then let us move for the calculation of PW then, right? See, what is PW? PW then PW is equal to 1 by FW. PW is equal to 1 by FW is 0.4. Right, 1 by 0.4. Simply we can do and we can solve it, my dear students. Take your calculator, divide 1 by 0.4, otherwise 10 by 4. Otherwise name madbodu neevu. You can write it as 10 divided by 4. Right? How much you will get? Obviously you will get 25. That is what? 2.5. 2.5 diopter. PW is equal to 2.5 diopter. So finally we got the value of P and also PW. Then let us move for the calculation of change in power of lens. So therefore change in power of a lens. Change in power of a lens. Power of lens. Yes, P dash is equal to P minus PW. P dash is equal to what is P here? P is 10. 10 minus 2.5. How much you will get? 7.5. Right? That is what? Diopter. 7.5 diopter. That is what the 7.5 diopter power has been changed when the lens is just kept inside the water. Hope you got this. So see my dear students, here the numericals are somewhat lengthier one, but definitely first if you know that how to analyze, how to break up the question, then you can easily solve with the help of formulas, mathematics and calculator. So hope you're all just observing it. Yes. Now let us move with the next question, dear students. Now let us move with the next question. I am just moving with the next question. So take down the next question. The power of a convex lens is 2.5 diopter in air. Full stop. Find the change in power when it is completely immersed in water of refractive index 4 by 3. Full stop. Refractive index of a lens is 3 by 2. Full stop. See, just pause the video and write down the question. So whereas the question which was given now is similar to the question that we solved just now, right? Both are similar questions but somewhat bit changes, whereas the question which was given now is very easier to solve. So now let us see the given values. First let us analyze the question, then let us break up the question and it's easier for us to solve. The question was like this: the power of a convex lens is 2.5 diopter in air. So that the power of a lens in air is 2.5 diopter. Yes, obviously in air they given. Then find the change in power when it is completely immersed in water. So what we should calculate? Change in power. So we should calculate change in power. Change in power is equal to question mark when it is placed inside the water. And ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ವಾಟರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಪವರ್ is written as P dash is equal to P minus PW, which is equal to question mark. So again the same thing I am writing. So when we place it inside, when we just place it inside the water ಒಳಗಡೆ place ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, because we have already P ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದೇನು PW ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Then what we should name PW is equal to question mark. When the lens is placed inside the water, the power is PW. Then what is the its value that we should calculate? And also the refractive index of a glass is equal to 3/2 and the refractive index of a water is 4/3, which was given in the question. And the next thing is, to know PW, we should know the value of FWG, that is what, when the lens is placed inside the water. Simply can write it as FW, focal length of the lens inside the water medium. Dear students, rather than moving by this calculation of FW, because in nಮಗೆ power ne direct ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, you can use the formula for power and you can solve it. ನೀವು power ನ formula ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಕೂಡ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ otherwise you can move with the calculation of FW then PW then substitution. ಆ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನನಗೆ ಪವರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪವರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಗುಡ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಆಗಲೇ ನಾವು FW ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಮೆಥಡ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ರೈಟ್, ನೌ ಎಸ್ what we should calculate PW ಅಲ್ಲ. So we have the formula 1/FW or 1/FA can be written as n minus 1 into 1/R1 minus 1/R2, right? Whereas 1/FA can also be written as PA, so which is equal to PA, take it as equation number 1. That is power of a lens in air medium. So simply you can write it as P. Here again 1/FW can be written as PW, that is the power of a lens in water, which can be written as NGW. Right, my dear students, see what I am just doing. I am just going to place a lens inside the water. So NWG. Here the glass is inside the air medium. So NG. Here NWG minus 1 into 1/R1 minus 1/R2. Take it as equation number 2. I am dividing equation 2 by equation 1. So divide equation 2 and 1. So that is what? I am not using F. 1/FW and 1/FA, but I am using PW and P. So it's easy for me for the calculation, right? P ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. PW by P is equal to 1/R1 minus 1/R2. 1/R1 minus 1/R2 cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Then what are the remaining terms? So PW ಅಲ್ಲಿ and WG minus 1 divided by see NG minus 1. Right. Then how to write this? NW by G. Yes students, already you know that I just placed a lens inside the water. It means the ray of light is coming out from water to which one? Glass medium. So hagar N2 is G and N1 is W. So that NG by NW minus 1 divided by NG minus 1. Then PW is equal to, what is P? Akada shift ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ. P ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 2.5 into what is NG? NG is 3/2 and NW is 4/3 minus 1 divided by NG is, what is the value of NG here again? NG is 3/2 minus 1. Dear students, I am just substituting it again here itself. So PW is equal to 2.5 into, see Here 2 is the LCM in the denominator, 2. 3 minus 2 is 1, so I will get 1 by 2. Here 3 by 2 by 4 by 3 gives you 9 by 8. Gives you 9 by 8. So 8 is the LCM and 9 minus 8 is 1. Right, 1 by 8 by 1 by 2. It becomes 2 by, it becomes, you can observe it becomes 2 by, yes, it becomes 2 by 8. So now let us substitute 2.5 into denominator is numerator 2 by 8, that is what 2 ones are, 2 fours are. Dear students, you should be very careful while doing this, because here we have 25, this is 2.5 divided by 4. 2.5 divided by 4, it's easier one to calculate, easier to calculate madlike. So how to do this exactly, my dear students? So just we are multiplying with 2.5 into 1 by 4. Just you can use a calculator and you can put the answer. Otherwise 25 by 10 into 4, it becomes 25 by 40. Obviously you will get point something answer. Okay, hope you did it. So that the 2.5, right, 2.5 divided by 4, how much you will get? It becomes 0.625. So the value is equal to 0.625. So I got PW is equal to 0.625 diopter. So this is what the power PW I calculated. Then let us move on with the calculation of changing power. So we finally calculated PW. So then what is P dash? So P dash is equal to P minus PW. P dash is equal to what is P? 2.5 minus 0.625, right? So what is the value? So just use a calculator. You will get 2.5 minus 0.635 gives you 1.86 diopter. So this is the change in the power of a lens when it is just kept inside the water medium. This is about the numerical, so which exactly gives you the relationship with the power and the focal length. Always the power reduces when we just place the lens inside the water. Literally, sometimes in your competitive exam also you will get a question on the lens which is kept inside the water, and also even you will get the question on what happens to the power of the lens, what happens to the focal length of the lens when it is just placed, when it is immersed inside the water. ನೀವೀಗ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಪವರ್ 2.5 ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ವಾಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 0.625 ಬಂತು. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಪವರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ when the lens is placed, when the lens is immersed inside the water. So ಆಗ ನೀವು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಲಿತಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಥಿಯರಿ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ you can write the answer. Now let us move with the next question, dear students. Here we are just moving with the next question. So the question was like this. Take down that an equiconvex lens of glass of refractive index 1.5 is immersed in a liquid of refractive index 1.6 full stop. If the radius of curvature of each surface is 0.1 meter, find the nature and focal length of the lens. This was the question. Now let us try to solve it, my dear students. So again, here in this one, we have an equiconvex lens. We have a lens, right? So whereas the refractive index, equiconvex it means the radius of curvature of one surface is equal to the radius of curvature of another surface. And R1 and R2 are same irutte. So what is the refractive index of the glass they given? The refractive index of the lens is 1.5. Next question continue agida. Is immersed in a liquid of, see lens yadalagade ittidare, it is immersed in a liquid of the refractive index 1.6 ಒಳಗಡೆ immerse ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, right? If the radius of curvature of the equiconvex lens, that is R1 and R2 is equal to how much? 1.1 meter, then find the nature and focal length of the lens. You should calculate the nature of the lens and also the focal length of the lens. So if we calculate the focal length, obviously obviously we'll get the nature. ಯಾವ ತರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? If we get the positive focal length, we can easily say that it is a convex. If we just get the negative, we can say that it is a concave. Right. Now, lens na matte ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ? ಒಂದು liquid medium ಅಲ್ಲಿ place ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. So my dear students, now let us use the formula 1/f, right? Focal length of lens inside the liquid, which is equal to, right, focal length of a lens inside the liquid, which is equal to n2 with respect to 1 minus 1 into 1/r1 minus 1/r2, right? Now my dear students, you know that convex lens ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ R1 positive, R2 negative. ಆಗಲೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ. So here 1/fl is equal to n2/n1 minus 1 into 1/r1 minus 1/r2. Now let us substitute the values. 1/fl is equal to n1 is 1.7, n2 is c. ಈಗ n2 ಯಾವ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ, n1 ಯಾವ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಇಂದ ರೇ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ n2 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಏರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ರೇ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಏರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಇಂದ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ಏರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ n1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ n2 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಆಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, n2 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, n1 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ n2 is glass, so it means 1.5, n1 is 1.6, that is liquid, right? Into radius of curvature is 0.1 and R2 is minus, so minus 0.1. So here 1.5 minus 1.6 divided by 1.6 is LCM into minus into minus becomes plus, right? So minus into minus becomes plus, so it means, so 2 divided by 0.1, right my dear students? Now what we will get, let us see. 1.5 minus 1.6, it is minus 0.1 divided by 1.6 into 2 divided by 0.1. This 0.1, this 0.1 cancel with each other. So I am just going to place LHS as it is. Now 2 divided by 1.6 we have. So 2 8s are 16. So similarly here we have 1.6. So that is minus 2 divided by 1.6. So 2 1s are 2 8s are 16. So every point, decimal point right becomes 0.8. So that 1/fl is equal to minus 1/0.8. Taking reciprocal, fl is equal to minus 0.8 meter. So what is the focal length of the lens when it is kept inside the liquid? It is equal to 0.8 meter. But negative sign ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, nature ನ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. Negative sign indicates that when the lens is kept inside the liquid of refractive index 1.6, then the lens is going to act as concave lens. So negative ಬಂದ್ರೆ it acts as concave lens. Okay dear students, this is all about the today's class. So in the next class let us continue with some more numericals. Thank you dear students.